Welcome back to this Let's Play of The Last Remnant. Last time we started a quest given by Rhagoh, as I call him, to go find his sister Kate, who's dead. And apparently there's some altar down here in the basement of Rebellia Castle that can resurrect her. Sounds good? Well, I don't know. You know, for a fantasy game, it's kind of what we want. What do you expect? But
Come on out!
I also want to patronize this dig point here, and I'll do that off screen. I've seen one of those rough stones used, but Paris needs one for his upgrade, so grab that. There's also platinum ore there. I have plenty of platinum ore. For some reason, people aren't taking it out of the stock.
Don't let my age fool you.
In preparation for the Fallen, I am going through the trouble of upgrading all of my companions' weapons, and some of that is easier than others. Some of it involves just some fairly rare drops. It's one of those things that, again, they didn't have to make the game quite so grindtastic, but that's the way they wanted it, I guess. After this quest is over, you can come back down in here, and I'll do that off screen to pick this this item up as a remnant. It's not really a very useful one, but it does. I believe it gives a bonus to combat art growth, which isn't a bad thing to have, but isn't anything super special. Okay, so we've got spiders, landworms, and a grand beetle. This is a boss fight? Are you kidding? Oh well. Just do what you want to do. I don't know. It looks like just your standard random enemy crew. Yeah, do run away. It's the first intelligent thing I've seen an enemy do in this game. It did give me battle rank 36 unfortunately.
What a glorious day!
What a lame boss fight. And there's Kate. And you can now recruit Kate if you really want to. I have no intention of using either of them. And you get some random crap, but really the only reason I did that was to go down there so I could fight those pests and get that pest toxin so that I could keep on doing my upgrades. I can't remember the workshop's over here. Hey, and Gabriel is offering to pick up a... Okay, here's the reason why I use Maddox as one of my hexers, even though he doesn't start with any good hexes. It's because he does eventually learn remedies. Wow, it seems like everybody learns things at 36. And Torgal's just mooching stuff. That's two characters looking for War Dragon Rawhide. Baze does drop a couple of the War Dragon parts, but not all of them, so you have to go. Alright, so I can make a Tataraichi, which is actually, just sort of stat-wise, almost as good as the Night Bloom, and that has much better defense. But you'll notice that he has the statement I could turn that into a beauty, but I can't remember how. That means that you need a higher customization level. We have basic customization from that quest we did with Blocter, but that's it. This is Serpent Star here. I picked it up from Milton, and I guess I never used it and never explained it. This is the weapon he uses, which is insta-killing things. You can insta-kill things too. It's really useless for grinding though, so I don't use it. And it's also a two-handed katana, so it's not useful the way I have Rush set up, because for to get the weapon art off of Nightbloom, you need to be using single-handed arts, and to get Ninja, you need to be using two-handed arts. So using something that's going to require power grip is just a waste of everybody's time. Alright. While we're on the business of just doing random side quests, what Torgal's requesting there, that's circular Albic hide, I can't get that yet. It requires a guild task, which I can't get to yet because of the stuff that requires something that doesn't spawn until after Nagapur. But here in Nagapur, I'm probably going to have to do the same thing I was doing with Rhagoh to get Glenys to finally give her attribute bonus. There's a quest that I want to do at some point, but Glenys can't get her attribute bonus if you complete the quest first. Anyway, there's another guy here with another quest for us. And, his sister's been kidnapped. And he says to go to the pub and talk to Oswald. This quest gets us access to an area that we'd previously been to, new parts of it. And it's required for, essentially I'm doing this quest first, it's required for another quest with Jägermeister. That's the Cosmos Fest staff. We've talked to him a couple times. And there's a bunch of slave traders and he wants us to go kill them. Well, we've been to the aqueducts before, and the quirky thing about this quest is that unlike when you're here during the story, you're going the other direction. This is where we fought those harpy bosses. And now there's nothing here. So we're just going to backtrack our way through it. Not super hard. I will actually just show it on screen, though. Hopefully I won't get caught in any fights or anything. I don't think there's anything I particularly want to fight down here. The Albic Cassidy down here do drop the circular Cassidy hide, but you need the magazine first, so can't do anything about that. There's another magazine that I'm sort of I'm gonna have to get in order to get some of my companions' weapon upgrades, and that particular one will require me to do a couple of rank missions for the Union of the Golden Chalice, which should be, at least another diversion for you, because you won't have to watch me swearing as I'm trying to get them to spawn. I'm just going to show them after they've spawned. Though I will try to explain how to figure out that they've spawned. Some of it is just trial and error, though. And, as I've said, there are some things in this game that I really don't care for, and the randomness of the spawns is one of them. And the rarity of some drops is the other. Though there aren't... Most things it's a question of finding the monster, and once you find the monster you can get a drop pretty quickly. Most things. There's a couple things that you need where it's like 5% chance of drop, and there's really only two ways to do it. Either fight a lot of monsters or get really lucky. And if, like me, you're trying to avoid fighting lots of monsters to keep your battle rank low, that doesn't work out so well. Anyway, we don't even have to go all the way down to East Waterway Control, we can just walk right up to these guys. And, again, actually this might be a little aggressive, I'm doing this without any of my combat arts active, enabled. So, we may have some fun with these guys, because we're going to be hitting them, well, rather more softly than you might expect. I'm keeping the Mystic Arts people on full power, though, because, well, they've got to use their arts to get skill with them regardless. And it looks like these guys, well, didn't really matter. I also have Emmy still using some of her arts, and Rush still using a couple arts, because they're trying to work on both two-handed weapons and also have something with a single hand art. Cerulean Rain, which is the weapon art that Emmy will eventually learn once I finally get her the right weapon, is a single-handed art. There are no two-weapon arts, which kind of an oversight as far as I'm concerned, but hey, Though that double slash that Glenys is using, I think that's an art she recently learned, and I just hadn't turned it off yet. Oh well. This game uses the Unreal physics engine, which is sort of amusing for a turn-based RPG, but sometimes the physics sort of do strange things. Sometimes you'll see Baulson get hit by a fairly big attack, and which kills him, and he'll go just flying all over the place, and it's like, wow, that was a really mighty hit. But it actually really was one of the Achilles' heels of the game on the 360 is that it just wasn't very well optimized for the physics engine. Squeenix, I guess, is just not Unreal is used for pretty much everything nowadays, but they've mostly done turn-based and sort of more RPG-type games, at least the Square part of it, and I guess they didn't have much experience with it. But it works pretty well on the PC version.
There is no limit to my strength.
I feel like I'm growing.
Well, 2,700 gold is about all I expected out of that fight. The reason I did that quest, even though it was kind of sad and pathetic and pointless, is that it does a couple things. One, it opens up this shop here, which does give you access to a couple of good weapons. This Nagaporat is, I'd rather have rubber soles, frankly. Or not rubber soles, rubber bracelets. But once you have access to the aqueducts again, another quest opens up, and a quest that's a little more useful. So let's have a chat with Jägermeister here. And we're going to turn him down for now because we don't have time in this episode, but next time we'll take him up on it and go back to Worm's Keep and recover the Lob Omen. I can't say that for some reason.